Yes, people, it's your host with the most. It's Abs from Waffle TV. Welcome to a live edition of the Honest Rivals, episode 7. Me and my boy, Big H from Coach's Corner. We're going to deliver a great show today. And before we get into it, I'm going to do a few introductions with some of the guys over here. So everyone knows who I am already, Abs from Waffle TV, so I don't need to give you an introduction. Coach, take it away, man.
Yeah, man, of course. You guys know me, but the Unitedhater, Arsenalator, but we love it. So yeah, up the shelves. Carl, take it away.
Yeah, most of you guys know me. I've been on Apple TV's channel for the AFCON watch along. Yeah, so I'm here to support United, the best club in England.
How's this guy got chest? Anyway,
We'll come to you now. Mike's, go ahead.
Yeah, but for everyone that doesn't know me already, my name's Mike's. I'm unfortunately a West Ham fan, and I'm just trying to survive.
Fair enough. Craig?
I'm Craig, everyone knows me, Arsenal fan, massive Arsenal fan. Shout out my boy Ab, shout out everyone on the panel. We're gonna have some fun tonight, man.
Yeah. And I think there's no better place to start with of course, come on, speak up yourself, just fan, be up everybody that has joined. Let's start with biggest club in England, yeah?
Yeah.
How 1-1 to 20. Not 20, 20. That's how many goals you guys will score in the Premier League anyway. So, Twente at home. Your only goal came from an Ericsson screamer. Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, to be honest, I felt like it should have been a game that we could have beaten 20 3-0 at least by that scoreline. I feel like Ten Hag wasn't really that aggressive in that game. We should have scored another goal to at least seal the victory. So yeah, the boys played poor that night.
They played poor. You want to call any of the players out?
I'll call out Rashford because he's always inconsistent. Bruno, especially against the Palace game, Bruno didn't finish his chances. He could have been, if he finished his chances there, he could have won that game. And also against 20, Ericsson played decent, to be honest here.
Yeah, you played decent.
And yeah, okay. I feel like to be honest, Ten Hag, I'll say we need to sack the manager.
Hold on. Is that a first?
I think you said it. Yeah? I think you said it, but this is the first time you said with some chest. Say that again.
No, I've always said
for the people
no,
behind.
I've never been a fan of Ten Hag's appointment ever since he was appointed as manager, to be honest.
Oh, hold on. Stop. No. Stop right there.
By the way, I think the camera is frozen. I don't know.
Is my camera? Can you see me?
No, your camera's frozen.
Oh, my camera's frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Okay. You saved yourself from getting cooked, man. I'm just going to leave and come back.
Anybody else want to go up to Carl? Why? Anybody can go?
Like, why is it taking this long, though? For you, like, because I don't know the history of how long you've been Ten Hag out for, like, with your chest or not. And why is it now that you're like fully like we need to get rid of this manager? When I feel like a lot of the signs were there last season, despite you guys winning the cup, but it felt like that papered over the cracks, like ever so slightly.
No, even from last season, I've been saying we needed to get Ten Hag out as well. I know you can remember I used to tell you when
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
to
I remember,
no,
but yeah, this is the first time you're saying Europe, so some
no,
power.
even MFC, you know that Nigerian United fan, MUFC got
Oh
Lobo.
yeah, yeah,
I've been telling him Tenag is not the right man. We need to get him out.
yeah. You're not wrong, but Abs, go on. You wanted to cook. Go on.
You see the thing about these Man United fans, yeah? You don't
Yeah,
hear nothing
what
about Ten Hag, yeah, when they get a nice little victory. But all of a sudden now, it's Ten Hag out now. You, man, was shocking against FC20. You, man, couldn't even put the ball in the net against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace.
You see also what pissed me off.
No,
as well.
no. Hold on. You're not talking. You're not talking. You're not talking.
Also,
I'm talking.
to add on Palace, that's the third game they haven't scored against Palace.
You guys.
Last season,
yeah.
1-0, 4-0, and now 0-0.
How many games you lot lost already this season?
We have lost 2.
So, and who you got this weekend?
I think we have
Tottenham.
Tottenham. It will be at low.
Is that away or home?
Home.
At home. It will be at low. At home.
I can see Tottenham beating you guys, man, because you guys.
Nah.
Listen,
Us
these guys
and Tottenham are on the same level at this point.
It's a proper medal.
Yeah,
I think Tottenham are ever so slightly better, but get out Old Trafford, that screams a draw, man. It's just like last season.
Yeah.
It's just going to go back and forth and just leave both defenses exposed, man. And even them are that clinical either. So,
yeah.
I can see that draw.
They've got Solanke now, though, and Solanke's scored, isn't it? So he might be a little bit confident. But I just don't see United. This is the United that used to, like, lose 3 games in a season and win trophies. What has happened to your team, my bro? And don't just blame it on the manager. What is going on? I don't want to hear about who's your Ineos. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear about leaky stadium. I don't want to hear about Garnacho's like Ronaldo. I don't want to hear about Rashford. Yeah, what is going on in your club right now?
To be honest, I'll say is player power, mentality. We don't have the players that are willing to like die for the club, willing to die to win a match. Like that winning mentality. Like when you see a team has scored 1 goal against us, the morale has completely died off. And that's why teams score again, like in a span of like 15 minutes, 10 minutes after they scored the first goal against us.
What didn't you not buy Delit? You've got who's the little guy, the really good defender?
Mazraoui.
Yeah, Mazraoui, Martinez.
Yeah, so you can
like defense. Your defense isn't like a cooked, really terrible defense.
Yeah, you can bring in some.
It's an attack.
You can bring in some players with winning mentalities, but when you have a squad of majority of players who don't know how to win and are not willing to fight, with those players tend to demotivate those that are willing to fight for key points.
Can I chip in there? You said they bring in players that have a winning mentality and want to die for the badge.
Like the elite, yeah.
Who brought in those players? Where does that mentality stem from? Also, if you remember, your club captain said, or was it Tenor? I can't remember which one. Our aim is top 4. And then I think it's Ronaldo that called him out and said, even if you know you're not going to win the league, at least say we're going to try and win the league. You guys aren't even trying to go for the league. Like, at least have it in your head. Maybe we can pull a miracle. Maybe. But there isn't. And that comes from your club captain in Bruno Fernandes. World-class underrated Bruno Fernandes I heard today. He's very underrated and world-class, apparently.
Nonsense. Nonsense. Literally, Bruno Fernandes, yeah, ever since he's joined the Premier League, I would say he's the most overrated player I've ever seen in this league. And the reason why I say the most overrated is because ever since he joined in the league, first 4 games, it was like just before lockdown, and these companies were already putting him in like team of the seasons and stuff like that. And Man United fans were calling him like some sort of savior. Could you imagine if it was like their past midfielders putting in type of performances that Bruno Fernandes is putting in now? They'd be getting slaughtered. But for whatever reason, like these Man United players have just got so much PR off purple patches. Like the problem is, if you're a youngster coming through at Man United, you're in an environment where you have to save them instead of being a part of something. So that's why people like Kobe Mainoo are going to eventually suffer here. Like Garnacho, like he's a good super sub from what I see, but he's not some great starter right now. And to be honest, he's not really meant to be. But the problem is, because of their bad recruitment, once you get a good youngster or a semi-good youngster in this team, they're already starting and the pressure's already on them in the first place. And that's the problem with also signing new signings as well.
That's him a good youngster. Well, it is good. Let's not get it. It's good, and that's Mainoo. But now he's suffering because he has to play with the likes of Ugarte, who also had a stinker against FC Twente. He had an absolute stinker.
That's the thing with like that's the thing with Ugarte is like obviously like everyone should give go don't get me wrong, probably should give new signings a chance. I haven't played in the league before, but you know when you look at what Man United needed, Ugarte, if you watched Ugarte for like PSG or Uruguay, that's not what they needed. They needed someone that could play on the ball in midfield that could also win the ball back quite good. Ugarte's never really impressed me when I've watched him. True. So and already with the problems they have with like Casemiro and they still played Eriksen in midfield. Like, what does Ugarte solve? Ugarte doesn't solve anything. And like Ineos may be taking them in the right direction, but it's still a long way to go. Then the likes of De Ligt and Mazzarari can only do so much. Like, the likes of Xerxes can only do so much. Again, a young striker, or kind of a striker. And like, this is the thing, you're putting all the reliance on him after already having a young striker last season. What does it solve? And especially with someone like Rashford, for example, yeah? This guy's not 22 anymore. And I'm still seeing people saying, don't drop your Rashford stocks. Bro, he's 28. It's like where Lingard was at 28.
I thought he's 26.
26, 27. Around that age. The guy's an adult now, but he's still playing like a youngster. The problem is that this guy's also another purple patch player. You keep bringing in purple patch players.
He's turning 27 this year.
27. Jesus Christ, man. This guy broke through like 10 years ago.
Craig, come true, Craig. What's your opinion on Man United?
It's a whole structure thing. When Ronaldo was at the club, he said that when he came back to the club, there's the same old people in the club when he first did in his first spell. Nothing's changed. I know they brought Ineos now, but when he was there, nothing was changed. The same canteen still there, the same training ground still there. So, you know, and Man United supposed to be a big club. It's supposed to be one of the biggest clubs in the world. Well, if you're the biggest club in the world, you should have better infrastructure. And if the infrastructure is not right, then you can't win. You can't be successful on the pitch. It all starts off from the academy, from the training ground, the academy, the youth team, the staff, everything has to how diet, everything. He said that when we went to the canteen, the same more food, not the same nutrition. Young players are just driving expensive cars, not willing to put the work in after training. Want to go home and play PlayStations and go and party and all that. But then, as a footballer, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. Like as a footballer, you've got to make a lot of sacrifices. Like you want to be the top elite players like Messi, Ronaldo, all the top elite players. They sacrifice something to be great players. And I think with modern day footballers, they don't really sacrifice a lot as they like back in the day. So that's why I think a lot of these new players are suffering now because they want to. Yeah, they play well for one season and get player of the year, and the next season they struggle because they don't put in the effort in. Look at Haaland, for example. Then guys put in the effort in. They train to be top elite players. Look at Bukayo Saka, for example. Train to be a top elite player, and he's still improving every season. So that Odegaard, all these type of players, they're all the top players you see in world football today. They all work hard. Mbappe, they all work hard, and they get to where they need to get to. So that's the problem with United. They got too many sport prima donnas who don't work hard enough on big wages and don't do anything. And then by 28, 29, they get sold to maybe a not a good team, and their career kind of falters and they kind of flat to deceive. So there's so many of them I can name who were there at United in the academy, could have done well, didn't do well, got sold, and now they're just playing for Mickey Mouse teams.
No, you're right. You're right.
No.
I just wanted to add one last thing in here. Now, let's not digress. Yeah, Man United have won, like, okay, they're not big cups, but they've won trophies more than obviously my team have won. Yeah, in the last 2 seasons. Wasn't you supposed to kick on from winning the FA Cup now this season? You know what? To like thinking, well, let's go for a top 4 at least. You know, but I don't get that from you, the fans. I don't get that kind of. It's just like United are just, we don't know where we're going to end up. We don't know if we're going to get anywhere in the Champions League. I just don't get anything from United fans. And look at Carl. Carl's just sitting there, just like.
Yeah, Carl, where did it go from here? Realistically.
To be honest, I would say most of these players don't deserve to wear the badge. Yeah, and we do need development from the bottom all the way to the top. Yeah, so I'll say we need to invest in the infrastructure, in the training facilities, the scouting systems. We know the scout system is good, but we need to improve on that. We need to listen to more of our scouts. And then we also need to bring in a good manager as well. Basically, all that.
I think United's biggest problem, off field with transfers, I think Ineos have been decent, and they're trying to, of course, get a new stadium or revamp Old Trafford. But Ineos have made one horrible mistake. That is keeping Ten Hag, unfortunately. Because if you look at that squad on paper, you've got a good defense. You've got Casemiro, Mainu, and Ericsson, probably your two free best midfielders to work with. Then, of course, you've got your squad depth in Bruno Fernandes and so. And on attack, you've got your six, you've got your Ahmad, and then you can play one of Rashford or Garnacho because both are almost the same. So yeah, I think on paper you actually have a decent squad, like to not push for, of course, the title, but if you guys have a good defense, you can reach top 4 because, well, like for us, we don't have a good defense. Right. Of the first few games, it doesn't look like our defense is all that. It has improved, but we are scoring goals. We've got goals in our team. That's the difference. So, yeah. United, you've got a good defense. If you can sneak 1-0 every time, there's no reason why you can't sneak into that top 4 or top 5, whatever it is.
I think our defense is good, but also our strikers need to learn how to be strikers, how to convert those shots into goals. That's what I'll say. That's what we have been suffering for the past 3 seasons, is our finishing. Our finishing rate has been poor. Yeah.
No, that's been, and then you're signing scrubs like Rasmus Højlund, yeah.
Yeah, Bruno, yeah.
Bruno. Wait, hold on. You're not going to go off Bruno, yeah, because you said in the chat, you said there's no other Chelsea player better than Bruno Fernandes. I don't think I'm letting you off the hook. You said Cole Palmer is not better than Bruno Fernandes. You said that. So don't talk about Bruno is a scrub or that, because I will catch you.
I was hearing Bruno's world class in the chat, and I just kept
I had underrated, but it's world class.
We got to stop using the term world class in football now. I think we should ban people from using the term world class, because everyone that has been deep world class for like the past 5 years has never been world class. Like, to be world class, surely you got to be doing it at a very top level on a consistent basis. And I don't think this guy's been doing that. So that's the thing. Like, I would say the FA Cup final was the first time I saw this guy turn up in a big game for Man United. Like, properly, he actually put in a good performance, but you need to put in those good performances on a consistent basis. So,
Absolutely.
I've never understood the hype.
Yeah, Bruno said that. Rasmus is a good choice. What's good about him? That's my question.
It's good for the opposition, but other than that, nah. He's just a
Who-
young, raw striker, bro.
Rushman Højlund.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I think he's a good striker. I feel like last season they were not giving him service. He could have scored more goals last season if they gave him service. There was times in the games when he's got excellent movement and he doesn't get the ball, gets frustrated, and it gets offside or whatever. But he's a good finisher. He can finish. Honestly, I watched him a lot last season. A lot of games last season. I watched him in match, and I thought there's something about this kid. He can do something special. I thought that some of the Man United players last season, like the senior players, like the Rashfords and certain players, are not passing the ball to him. He made good runs. If you want to go back and watch some of the games last season, and you see some of the runs he was making, and was not getting the ball in the box, and he was getting frustrated. Like, he scored some goals last season, so if he had better service, he would have got into double figures last season. With the chances that United created last season, but he wasn't getting chances. They weren't getting created chances. So he's not a bad player. I mean, he just said he's not a bad player at all. He's a good
Didn't
player.
he get into double figures yesterday? Last season. I'm sure he got.
I'm not sure. I think he didn't. He scored a lot of goals. He scored a lot of goals in the Champions League last season, if I remember correctly.
He
scored a lot of goals in the Champions League for United. I mean, he scored against Bayern. I know he scored against Bayern. He scored against FC Copenhagen, if I remember correctly. I don't think he scored against
Premier League.
10 goals.
Last season he scored 10 goals. Last
10
season.
goals, 2 assists. Yeah.
One in 3 games. 10 goals in 30 games.
Is that good enough though? Is that good enough for a 70 million?
Remember, it cost like what, 70 mil?
Yeah.
72?
But when a poor Man United team last season, that were not delivering chances and missing a lot of open chances, and their defense was so bad last season, they conceded so many goals, and where they finished in the league, I thought that if you had more if you were playing a different team that's apart from Man United, he would have got more goals. I honestly thought he would have got more goals if he was playing a better team there. Say he was playing Arsenal's team, for example. And we need a striker, basically. He would have got more goals in that Arsenal team. Than the Arsenal create chances. Odegaard would have laid down chances. Saka would have given chances. Martinelli would have created chances for him. Trossard would have created chances for him. So I think a different team, a different system, he would have scored more goals. That's my honest opinion. That's what I personally feel.
I just don't think he was ever ready. I just don't think he was ever ready for this level. And I don't think it was fair for him to be in that kind of environment where he was surrounded, as you said, about like players like Rashford, players like the wingers they have, like the wingers that were starting for them are quite selfish wingers in general. They're meant to be like typically goal scoring wingers. So he was never going to get those chances anyway. I think he is a little bit rushed, but I think that's fine because he's young. He's going to grow into that. But I also don't think he's at the club to develop, like at the right club to develop into a better player. Because I do think when Man United do buy these younger players, you don't end up seeing their career going up because they ain't in the right environment to develop anyway. I think if he was at like a mid-table or a team challenging for like the top 6, like properly like the top 6, maybe a club with less pressure, then I think it'll be fair on him. I think they pretty much signed him to save them. And I don't think that was fair on him.
So basically, if you'd gone to West Ham, for example, I know you're a West Ham fan, he would have done well for your team last season because you got your Kudus would have created for him, Paqueta would have created for him. Yeah, players like Bowen would have created for him. So a team like a West Ham would have done him perfect last season. Just for especially you guys were struggling to score goals, he would have been a good striker if he would have to score goals because you would have created more chances for him.
I think it would. The problem with us is like we don't provide for strikers as well. We have that problem where for years we haven't really provided for strikers. Like we didn't really set up to do that, which was the problem last season. Like we sat back with all them creative players, which is it's kind of a similar problem to what this season as well. I even think at West Ham he would have suffered. Just because that typically happens at West Ham, but strikers don't. We don't get the best out of strikers.
On David Moyes would have struggled.
Yeah, well, under both managers that we've had, to be honest. I think he would have struggled here, just because we don't give strikers service. But I do think for another club, like let's say he went Villa, let's say he went Villa to play with, like, if and Duran wasn't there already, like to compete with Watkins, that's perfect. That's perfect for someone like him. He would have thrived in that environment, in my opinion.
But for me, I just think he just tries to wrestle too much, like with the defenders, and his touch is not that good in my opinion. I know he's been given that number 9 #R9 for him, but I just think I don't rate him because his touch isn't good. Yes, he runs the channels and stuff, but I don't think his timing is good with the runs. I think he makes them too late or too early. So yeah, but we will see. 10 goals a season. He hasn't. He's played 1 game, and that was the substitution at Palace. So yeah. Mario saying you're speaking facts. Garnacho, yeah, Bandes. Garnacho is. Anybody rates him, yeah. Oh my. He scored 1 good goal, and that was a overhead kick. But he's now, and it's good apparently.
Do you think the hype's gone to him? The hype's gone over his head a little bit. Do you think that since he scored that goal, he's a bit when it comes on, a bit too cocky, a bit too flash, thinking, "Yeah, I made it now." Or do you think he needs to just like work on his game a bit more? I know he comes off the bench sometimes and scores goals, but I feel like he can do more as a player. I feel like he needs to learn a bit more as a player to be more consistent, like goals and assists. Like I think that with him, I think because he's in the international team as well, Argentina. He plays like a lot of Premier League matches. But for him to be a top elite player, he needs to be more consistent, and he needs to finish in chances. Like the first game of the season, he missed an absolute sitter against Fulham, open goal, and he missed it. I don't remember that chance, Abs. Open goal.
Yeah. I remember that,
Things like that. If you want to be a top elite player, that's Ronaldo there. Ronaldo would be screaming at him if he missed that chance. So he has to be finishing chances like that if he wants to be a top elite player. If he needs to up his goal tally, he needs to up his assist, he needs to have a better all-round game.
Just needs to work harder because the iPad's definitely gone through his head. Every time he scores a goal, it's over to the advertising board, sitting on it, smiling. So yeah, but he needs. I also think having Garnacho and Rashford starting doesn't benefit them because they, of course, similar. So
Ahmad's better than Garnacho. I think at this stage, I think Ahmad is a tough footballer. So you look at him; he just looks.
He's got the real. He's the real deal, isn't he? I like him.
He's
a real baller, man. But
you know what? We've been talking about this Man United cooked Dross team for like nearly half an hour. Please, let's
change it.
Let's move it to your rubbish club then, Abs.
My rubbish club.
What rubbish club?
Listen.
This guy.
All I gotta say is how many defeats have you got compared to me in the league so far?
We've got 1. And
exactly. And who was that against?
Okay.
Right. Okay.
It was 2-0.
Anyway, let me talk about my club. Anyway, let me talk about my club because I need to open up with this now.
Yeah, go on.
Now, Hanno's right. You know, I hate agreeing with this guy. I really hate to agree with this guy, but in the scheme of things, and people are gonna hate this, but I don't care because I'm here to speak my mind. If Arsenal had conceded, say, in the 60th minute and held on, to the ends, that's heroic. That's heroics. However, once again, last minute or 30 seconds or how much time you want to call it, Arsenal dropped 2 points, but no one's talking about that. We can blame Trossard, yeah, I blame him as well, you know, for not being on the pitch as well. But we have to talk about Arsenal players. We have to talk about players celebrating before the final whistle. And against an animal, a beast like Man City, who always played to the final whistle, yeah, I think we were a tad naive. And everyone wants to say, oh, we're proud of the boys and all that. Do you know what? Brilliant display. But Man City have still got their record. We rattled them, but we didn't rattle them enough. Imagine if we'd have taken those 3 points. How much of a boost would that have been going in, you know, going on to the next game? Because we've got a nice little run now, I think. You know, and with a team like City, you don't give them anything. You don't give them nothing. Because when you come to the Emirates, they're going to look to upset us and they're going to look to beat us. I'm confident we can beat them at the Emirates, by the way, but still. You know, I feel that we dropped 2 points. I think we played very well in that second half. I think towards the end of the first half, I thought, you know, we were on top. And then Trossard, the bellboy, goes and kicks the ball away, yeah, and gets sent off. Like he didn't see Declan Rice get sent off previously in the game against, who was it? Who did we get sent off against? Yeah, Brighton. So that was the only disappointing thing for me, is that we didn't come away with 3 points. No, we didn't lose to Man City. And everyone could say, oh, do you know what? Going to City and getting a draw is brilliant. Maybe for you, man. Maybe for you guys. But for me, nah, that's 2 points dropped for me. Craig's going to probably disagree with me, but
who?
That's how I'm feeling at the moment. Craig. Your name's Craig, isn't it?
I'm still vexed. What are you talking about? I'm still vexed, man. No, man, we could have held on to that win, man. That would have been a statement win to the whole Premier League if we won that game, man. But end of the day, man, sometimes things happen. But I feel like if we had beaten City on Sunday, the whole Premier League would have been shut. All the pundits would have shut their mouth because they're all talking about, oh, Arsenal this, Arsenal going to lose against City when they get battered by City. We went there. I mean, we took the game to them. We roughed them up. I've never seen City get bullied like the way we bullied them on Sunday. We bullied them. Rodri got bullied in the first minute. Havertz had smashed him. Second minute, Partey got him as well. Then he injured himself. So we had to go head to head with City. We couldn't. If we played our normal game against City, we would have got battered. If we had played a normal just don't be fit, rough them up, we would have got battered by them. We had to do tactics. We had to do the dark art tactics against them because they're a good team. They've won the Premier League 4 times. So we have to show them that, you know what, we're coming in, we mean business. We're very unhappy of how we lost the title the last 2 seasons. So, you know, we have to do what we have to do to try and win the game. And I think we could have won that game if we had been more let off the handbrake in the second half. Instead of defending so much, go out the other end and try and get a couple more goals and try and kill the game off. Maybe that would have been better for us. And then we wouldn't be sitting back defending so deep. Every time they had the pressure, defending. Maybe if we'd gone up the other end and maybe been more cautious, maybe bring on another sub, maybe a Sterling, someone with pace, maybe we could have gone on and won that game. That's my honest opinion. I feel we could have gone on and won that game if we had been more not too part the bus kind of mentality, I would say.
You know what? When I was looking at this fixture, I was thinking this game was going to be a draw anyway. But what I was thinking was, if you get a draw to City now at the Etihad, cool. I actually think it's better to get one now than it was when the back end of the season where you're in the thick of things in the business end. But you know, when you look at the circumstances of the game, I completely understand why any Arsenal fan would be disappointed that they didn't get a win and are putting, you know, the responsibility on their team. Because I agree with what you both said. Like, this is the thing with like Trossard. Like, there's no excuses for that in my opinion. I don't get the whole getting done over thing and all that this time, because you literally know the rules by now. You know the rules by now. Like, you literally saw Rice get sent off for a similar rule. Now, cool, we could get into refs and consistency and all that, but this is the Premier League. You're never going to get a consistent ref. And also, I say this all the time. The reason why I don't get like angry when it comes to my club, when it comes to referees and all that, is because I'm always looking at my club and thinking, well, we couldn't have conceded there. We could have scored here. It's a 90-minute game. It doesn't just come down to one factor. But with this game, it's like, I can completely understand why people would be disappointed, because just like with the attacking talent that you have and the attacking talent that you maybe could have played, you could look at it and be like, if you brought more to City, then you could have had more chances to actually pepper their goal. Like, realistically, you scored a set piece and a great long shot. And we know Arsenal are good at set pieces. And that long shot from Calafiori, that was just sensational. Like, and the thing is, you look at Arsenal and you think, okay, with the way they're defending now and the way they're approaching games, what happens when there's a team that goes to them and parks the bus against them? Without Erdegaard, do you have the capabilities to open them up?
Yes.
But then again, a lot of defenses in the Premier League aren't that great. But with Arsenal, you're looking at it like that psychological advantage that you lot could have had by beating City could have been mad, because they I've said this on a few channels that I've been on, like their last loss at the Etihad was the game before the World Cup started. Like, that was the last time they lost it. It was against Brentford.
Yeah.
That was the last time.
Was that the 2-1
yeah.
game? 2-1
Yeah, the
game,
2-1.
Yeah.
So if you had that, if you beat them at their ground after last season where you beat them at your ground, you've got that psychological advantage. Obviously, City may not have been bothered and been like, okay, we go again, we know what we need to do. But as from an Arsenal perspective, you're thinking, well, we're just as good as them. This is our season. Like, we've just proven it by even more that even without our best starting 11, and maybe you could have done more in a transfer window or whatever, even without that as well, even the fact that you may feel like you haven't addressed everything, and you did have all the best players that you could have played, and you beat them, it's even better. So,
can I ask Mike one quick question? Yeah, because that's interesting. Yeah. Interesting analysis of that. So with Arsenal doing the low block thing at City, do you think other teams are gonna adopt that style of play against City, or do you think they're just gonna play as normal and just get thrashed?
Do you know what? I think a lot of teams actually do try to play that against City. The problem is that they can't afford to do that because their defenses are so weak. The problem is, I think, is you can only afford to sort of park the bus against City if you're Arsenal, because of the centre backs you have and because of the defenders you have. The problem what teams don't have is they have a bad mentality going to these grounds. They are going to get chances at these grounds. Like, average attackers score against good teams all the time. We've seen Ipswich even score one against them. If you go for it a bit more against these big teams that are going to have space, you'll have more of a chance of getting a result. However, with Arsenal, I understand why you play on the counter and sit back because of Gabriel Saliba at the back line. That's probably the best centre-back partnership in the league and debatably in the world right now. But the problem is that with other teams, like you're coming up against teams with like mid-table defenders that are bound to make a mistake all the time. And the problem is you're inviting pressure against attackers that are so good, and they can pick any chance to really get a goal, find different ways of scoring all the time. But they allow pressure onto them and give them more of a chance of scoring. However, if they went for it a bit more, they can attack the space. We've seen that City before, even with Rodri, at times can be susceptible to the counter. Just run at them with pace, and you'll get chances. Whether you score or not, it's up to you. But it's not. It's like they don't leave everything out there. With Arsenal, you can at least say they did leave everything out there given the circumstances. But you can also see from a perspective of, okay, we could have tried to go a little bit more and maybe try and get a win. Because maybe even with 11v11, you can think, oh, maybe we didn't test their keeper enough. That's the only thing I will say.
To chip in there, I think you guys have mostly said what I would have said. The biggest problem with this is the psychological effect on this Arsenal team. Because you've put in all that hard work. You subbed off Captain Saka at half time, put on another defender, and you still didn't get over the line. How does that affect you? Like, you put everything you could into it, and you couldn't get out. How does that affect you when you go away to these big clubs? Your Liverpools, United away. I say that with a pinch of salt. What other well, even
Chel-
us.
Chelsea as
Big up
well.
to Orogun Goon, man. Orogun
Yeah,
Goon.
yeah,
Big up
yeah,
to my
yeah.
boy. Go on.
Because Chelsea are doing well at the moment. So
Yeah,
when we play
us
them at
as well
Stamford
to
Bridge,
understand.
we're gonna have to.
But yeah,
It's gonna be one of them type of games. So
yeah.
we
But
have to.
What do you
also,
think? What do you think of this comment from Amalia? Sorry, Hannah. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself. Go on.
yeah, no, it definitely has. Like, yeah, I think psychologically you guys are almost fried, and but I think you you look strong, but it's getting over the line again. Like this was almost like a cup final. Uh, that's I think for the Arsenal players, it will feel like a loss as well because if I put 100% in trying to defend, like doing one thing 100% fully, and I fail in that, like how much does that put into your brain? That is why I also want to semi give credit to Arteta for playing the youngsters, resting your likes of Havertz, Martinelli, Saliba, Gabriel, Tommy, Calafiori, Tomiyasu, or whoever didn't play, because it gave those guys a break. So yeah, I think you guys are strong. I just don't rate your midfield is still a tricky one. Without Odegaard, is there really anything else on the attacking side? And then your attack stinks. I've said this. I've said this time and time again. Like I
No.
always crash on your attack, and I don't know when we'll click. I don't know how. So, but your biggest problem, I think, is October as well. Arsenal's fixtures. Because you have to go Liverpool away. Where is it? Let me bring it up. So you've got Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, Inter away, Chelsea away. That's November. Sorry, November.
Wow,
hard
that's
games,
some
boy.
crazy games there, man. Isn't it?
So wait, let me just read from the 27th of October. Basically, you've got Liverpool at home, Preston away in the Carabao Cup. Then you've got Newcastle away, Inter away, Chelsea away, Forest at home, Sporting away, West Ham away,
That's
United
light
at
work. Don't
home.
worry about that. That's light work. Don't worry about that.
I agree, bro.
I agree. I agree as
I
well.
agree, bro.
The thing is with all these fixtures is that, and I'll let Carl chime in after as well because Carl's been quiet. The thing is with our fixtures is we've not just got hard fixtures as well. Yeah, Liverpool got hard fixtures, Man City got fixtures. You've got a lot of fixtures as well. So everyone's got fixtures, and everyone's gonna. This is where the manager earns his coin because there's going to be a lot of rotation. Remember, we still got players to come back as well. So Marino, he's not really starred for us yet. I'm sure he'll be back around end of October or before that. We obviously Odegaard's probably still out. Got Tomiyasu. I don't know how long he's got out, but we have players. The only thing is with us is that we have to change our style of play for like most games now. Depending on the opponent, we have to change our style of play. So if we play against a Chelsea, then you know what? With Chelsea, we can go toe to toe, I reckon, because you know what? Your defense isn't great, but your attack is really good. But also our defense is really good. So you guys would have to unlock that. But we're not afraid of any team in the Premier League, to be honest. Yeah? We go toe to toe with anyone. So we're not worried about fixture pile-ups or anything like that. We're just going to do what we've got to do. Kyle, you're sitting there quiet, yeah? You ain't coming to the show for free, yeah? Start talking. I need to hear from you. Don't be hiding, yeah?
Yeah, well, that's not a thing that you guys bottled a win there. Even though you guys had a 10-man squad, you guys should have won towards the end to bottle a lead when only a few seconds on to the end of the game. Yeah, I can say it could feel like a loss. Yeah, but again, Arsenal in that game had like one man down. So
Mm.
to talk about um, City had advantage, so it's hard for any defense to hold on to a 1-0 lead from like 67th minute all the way to the 90th, and they're playing against 11 men, and that's 10 men, so that's hard. So yeah, I give Ateta credit for pushing City towards the end, and to be honest, I think all Premier League fans came into this game thinking that Arsenal was going to lose or take a point away from City. So yeah, you guys really surprised us in that game. You pushed City towards the end, and
Mm.
we could take some positives out of the game. Like you guys played well in that game, and you were defensively well until that last minute when City collapsed. The
Mm.
negatives you guys could take is that you guys bottled the lead towards the end. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I don't like that language. I don't like that. I don't like that word. I don't like that word.
That's a clue. It's a purpose of the show.
I needed
To
a
be
bottle.
honest,
Yeah. I needed a bottle. Yeah.
this is a
But
bottling. We bottled it.
yeah. But you spoke there about Salah Labs. And I want to see what Arsenal do. Like you fresh Bolton, yeah, whatever. You've got Leicester. Are you gonna play this defensive type football again,
Oh,
or
not
are
against
you?
Leicester. Are you mad? Not against Leicester. Come on.
I want to see again. I don't know.
You know we went down to 10 men, didn't you? So when you go down to 10
No,
men,
I'm even speaking about. I'm even taking the Atalanta game into consideration. So yeah, I want to see if it's just those tough away games and tough home games where you guys are gonna be defensive, or are you also gonna be try
if you
to be a bit more defensive when you come up against your Leicesters, your West Hams?
no. See, the thing is with
Or is it just a one game thing?
no, you know what? With the teams, like if you watch Arsenal history and Leicester games, yeah, they're always open games, feisty affairs. You know, there's always goals in these type of games as well. So I don't see that changing. Maybe you might see a little bit of expansive football in that game. I'm not going to put West Ham down totally, yeah, because West Ham, you know, they've already beaten us, yeah, they beat us last season, thrashed us last season at the Emirates, and
He
I'm
also
hurting.
did.
I was hurting from that, so
Didn't he
that's
also fresh
something.
them? 6-0?
Yes,
Yeah, you battered us though as well.
we're going to talk about that. We're getting to that after this anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But yeah.
West Ham are one of those teams, but anyway, enough about Arsenal. Enough about Arsenal.
But I think it's talking about Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva said after the game, we don't respect Arsenal because they sat back with 10 men, and he said
Did he say?
it doesn't feel like a title race or anything like
Well,
that because also haven't won the Champions League or Premier League like Liverpool.
You see,
And
when
they
yeah.
they just play for a draw, Arsenal, unlike Liverpool. And then everybody brought up this thing. When Liverpool went down to 10 men at the Etihad, they lost 5-0. You only took the point. What would you rather want?
Liverpool drew with City at Anfield last season. So what?
But now, talking about the 10 men thing, like when Liverpool went
Yeah,
down
but
to 10.
you know what? That just shows that City are rattled. Silver's rattled. They're all rattled. Yeah, they can show us their medals and trophies and stuff like that. But when you talk about a one-off game, you still couldn't beat us. Yeah, we've come to your home. We've come to your ground. You are the ones that should be smacking up a 10-man team rather than talking all the
spot on.
smack at the end. Silva has lost it. Yeah, he's lost it. He had a terrible game. He was poor. You know, he couldn't do nothing towards the end. Obviously, we were the ones that switched off. We were the ones that gave them the point in the end. I don't think it. Yeah, a little bit of smart play by Grealish and stuff, but we switched off. So you know what? And you can't do that against City. So Silva, shut your mouth, man. Shut your mouth.
Also, shout out to David Raya. Yeah. On another day, that shot from John Stones goes up in the air against a crossbar. Because if you look at the replay, he actually somehow got a leg to it.
Yeah.
But
So
keep your goal leg to it, and it went in. Kind of deflects off Kivio went in.
Yeah, but it was good. But listen, we need to segue because we need to give someone their flowers. And as hard as it is, you know, we need to talk about Chelsea. You know,
I thought we're talking West Ham, but I guess we'll save the
But
best
hold on,
later.
the first thing is embarrassing. Though. Hold on, the first thing though, even though it's a win, you don't put 5-0 against Barrow in the chat. I don't even know what Barrow is. I've probably driven past it a million times.
5-0 against Barrow.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
Is Barrow not a small team?
That's
top of
embarrassing.
League 2,
That's
mate.
what I'm talking about.
Top of League 2.
But
the top of League 2.
I need to talk about Chelsea so far, and we're going to get into the West Ham game. For me, you know, as much as I don't like to say it, Maresco, you know, he's getting a tune out of his players right now. You know, they're playing for him. It's still early for me. You know, I think it's still early for me, but from what I've seen so far, you know, he's got players like Jackson playing. You know, he's got the front line cooking. Midfield, Caicedo. I think Hanno raised a stat about Caicedo. He's been like the best DM in the league this season so far. I would shout Gravenberch as well, but you know, the stats are the stats. And yeah, I think Chelsea. I think Chelsea have been playing well. I saw the game against Wolves. I watched that whole game. Obviously, you know, Wolves got back into it, but Chelsea are one of those teams that, you know, if you score, we will score. You know, and they seem to have like players that can just come on at any time and just. It's not like you're bringing on like a no name, you know, in attack. Yeah, you're bringing on players.
We're
like
not bringing on Lewis Kelly and them, man.
Yeah, you're bringing on Neto, you're bringing on Nkuku, you know, you're just bringing on like players with class. And I didn't see the West Ham game, but I heard West Ham got peppered, barbecued. I heard you man got put in a. You know, I'm not even going to say the words on here.
First 10 minutes, the game was already over. 20 minutes. Well, actually, after 20 minutes, because Lopetegui, shout out to him, stepped on so far. 20 minutes in, thinking it will make a difference. So yeah. But first and foremost, I want to start off 3 clean sheets in 3 games. We have to my defense, Levi Colwell, Tosin, to you guys. Yeah, man. Also, we're going to do without right back.
Those teams.
Why? No.
No, completely against small teams.
No, we kept 3 clean sheets against a good West Ham team away from home, Bournemouth away from home, Barrow at home. 3 games, 3 clean sheets.
No, you cannot count a clean sheet against a League 2 team.
Right. There's no need for us to waste our energy scoring 6 goals. Why? We already scored 5. No need. Why waste energy? Cole, he's been good. He's been very good. He's made a position his. So yeah. Tosin is also made that position is. Fofana, 50-50. Still looking at him, saying because he got done by Somerville, probably should have been a penalty. So yeah, it's 50-50 on
50-50.
Fofana, but our midfield has been very good. I want to say shout
What
out to
about the
Enzo.
Bournemouth game?
What about the Bournemouth game? What? They
You guys
created.
need to win that comfortably. You won by.
We won 1-0. What's your
It
problem? You
wasn't a
drew to
comfortable
Twente.
win.
Why are you talking? You
It
draw
wasn't
to
a
FC
comfortable win. It's
Brentford.
a one.
They're not
It's a
even in
1-0.
the top 3
It
in the
wasn't even a
Netherlands.
comfortable lead.
Huge.
It was a 1-0 lead. It could have easily gone.
Yeah, and you couldn't keep a clean sheet against FC Twente. Do you want to know for the of first place in the
No,
Eredivisie? You want to
listen,
go there?
you almost flew to Bournemouth, so you should keep your mouth
20.
shut.
What? 7 points away from first place in the Eredivisie. 7.
Oh no, that's a
So relax. Yeah.
And it's only the start of the season. Who knows where Chelsea will be?
Start of the season, yeah. Then why do you want 10 out if it's only the start of the season? Yeah. Shush, keep quiet.
No, I'm being honest. I'm looking at it as 2 years. I know Chelsea is
Yeah, I know. I get you on that. But why not away from Bournemouth, a tricky ground? Didn't play our best. We don't know. But we got the win. That's what it matters. Shout out to Nkunku and Sancho. Yeah, 2 goals, 2 games to assist.
But how long will Chelsea be able to keep that momentum going for? Because we know Chelsea doesn't keep the momentum going for a long time.
That's true. Chelsea are doing well.
I hope we keep it as long as we can. We've got some good fixtures till our tough run comes. Because we've got... Where's our fixtures? But before you rudely interrupted me, I want to speak about...
No, I didn't rudely. I know it appeared.
Enzo Fernandez, came back and had actually a good game against West Ham. He still pisses me off, but I actually had a good game versus West Ham. So yeah. So yeah, we've got 3 games. We've got 3 games.
Going to talk about the Civet game as well.
No, come on, man. Let's just give these guys their flowers. I'll tell you who's impressed me for you quite a bit as well. And I said when he came in, I saw him like 1 game, and I was like, this guy is decent. Vega, is it Vega?
Yeah, he's been good. He's been really good.
Utility player. I think he's a very good utility player. And you can use him left back as well, innit? Does he play left
back and CDM, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's very good as well.
So he's a good utility player. What's faking on this? Caicedo, yeah, he's been quality. He's been actual quality. And our attacker just on Songman. And yeah, respect Nicholas Jackson, please, people. Respect him, please. That both those finishes. Oh, beautiful.
Decent.
Through the keeper's legs, 1-on-1 with the keeper, outside of the boot, shot. Oh, God. Yeah, just can't run out of praise. And shout out to Maresca. Unlike Poch, he didn't protect the draw against Bournemouth like last season. Unlike against West Ham, he didn't.
When you won against Wolves, did you say that you guys are going to win the league?
Oh, he didn't play thingy. What's his face? Who did he play? Oh, he didn't bring on Caicedo, even though he had 0 match fitness against West Ham last season. Absolute fraud, Poch. Yeah, do subscribe to the channels, people. Areola Howler. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a howler.
It was more of a structural howler. There was a structural howler for the whole game. It wasn't really Areola's fault.
I don't know how you guys had 1 pass and he's like he just ran like down the sideline. He's allowed to cut in.
Did you see the way we approached that game? We tried to man mark everyone on the pitch. That is the problem. Like we put Alvarez and Rodriguez, the 2 most immobile players in our team, on Jackson and Palmer. and the whole point was they're meant to man mark them, but then Alvarez was still leaving Jackson space. So you're trying to rely on the least mobile players to mark the two most mobile players
Also,
in the Chelsea team.
I don't get your high line. You're playing high line with the slowest centre backs.
It's not like if we had Todibo and Kilman, we may have been fine because Kilman's used to being in those positions. Mavropanos is like useless, man. Like the guy's just a walking howler. That's why I call him like Mavrobozo all the time. Like because the guy is just a bozo. But we approached that game poorly, bro. We approached it so bad, bro. Like the problem is as well that whole Souček sub didn't make any sense because we already had immobile players in midfield. So he decided to take Rodriguez off and put Souček on, but play him in the deepest midfielder, even though he's meant to be a goal scorer from midfield. The guy can't dictate play. That you threw away the game in like the first 20 minutes. I've seen worse West Ham teams beat better Chelsea teams at our stadium. That's why we had a so-called good record against you lot at our stadium. This is the first time with fans since Antonio Conte when we lost at our stadium against Chelsea. The only other time was in lockdown. I've seen worse West Ham sides beat better Chelsea sides when they had Hazard in them.
And that's because you guys didn't play so open against us. Like you didn't. The tactics were just terrible, like you mentioned.
Yeah, do you know what it is? You can play high up the pitch. You just don't have to man mark everyone. Like, why is everyone being man marked? Because as soon as you beat the first man, when you're man marking a whole team, everything just becomes a mess. Because everyone else is trying to cover everyone else. They're trying to step into other people's positions and stuff. And that's why we've been so bad as of recently, since the second, what's it called? Since the first international break. That's why we've been terrible. Because we were actually okay defensively, like just compact wise. And then after the international break, it just became even worse because the manager likes to change it up every game off the ball. So we have no cohesiveness. No one knows how to play with each other in the West Ham team. And you're meant to be like a circled attacking manager playing on the front foot, but you don't look like you're going to score in any game.
Why didn't we play Antonio though? Because Antonio, when Antonio plays against Chelsea, obviously Chelsea's defense in it is dodgy in it. So when you've got a big striker like that, like Antonio, I'm not saying he's the best striker in the world, but he can upset like Chelsea's rhythm, and he's done it before. So I don't understand why the coach didn't think, you know what, let me just bring in Antonio and just to press their defense. But
you know what the problem is?
This season,
you know what the problem is with that though? Like Antonio's been poor so far this season, so there was a reason why he got dropped. But when he came on, he was still terrible. But the problem is, the problem is like, Antonio has done a lot for this club. I love Antonio, but there's a time where you look at a player and you think you don't need to start anymore. Just integrate someone else in. But Fulcrook was injured at the time. That's why he stuffed Bowen up front. The problem is he took Somerville off. Why did he take Somerville off? I still don't get it. He was our best player. Somerville could have killed him, but he didn't deserve that. But Somerville barely gets the ball from our midfield anyway, because our attack just don't get the ball from our midfield. Like, it's just a lack of coaching. So our attack is always isolated. But when Somerville does get the ball, he's always trying to create something.
True. Also, one thing I saw was Lopetegui just at the touchline screaming, pass the ball, faster. But shouldn't that be instilled into them?
Bro, why is he he's always complaining? It's your fault. Look in the mirror, man.
Wow.
It's your fault.
Wow.
He's complaining all the time about players doing this and players doing that. You're coaching them. You're picking them. You don't change up.
I honestly thought he's going to get sacked soon. If the results don't change, he's going to get sacked. Honestly, I really think he's going to be the first Premier League manager to get sacked. Either him or Ten Hag, or them two are going to get sacked soon because West Ham spent an awful lot of money in the summer, and they're not playing good football. They're getting battered by here, there, everywhere. I feel that I think the problem is like he was at Wolves. He struggled at Wolves.
Yeah, he struggled at Wolves. Yeah.
He struggled at Wolves. That's even a red flag for you straight away when he came to West Ham. Yeah. He's going to struggle at West Ham as well. That's a red flag. He struggled at Madrid as well. When he was at Real Madrid, he struggled there as well, and he got sacked. Then Benitez took over. So he's a manager that goes to the only place he did well was when he was the national team manager at Spain. He did okay at the national team for a little while, but when club football is not a good manager at club football. No disrespect, but he's not a good club manager because he struggles. He doesn't know how to. I don't know what it is with him, but he falls out with big players, and I think when he was at Wolves, he fell out with a couple of the players, and it didn't work out, so they got rid of him, or he left. But I think West Ham got good players. Like Kudus is not playing well at the moment. He's a good player. He got good players at West Ham while struggling under his tactics. So, do you feel that getting rid of David Moyes was a blessing in disguise? Do you think it was a regret now? Do you regret getting rid of him now? Look in hindsight.
No, it's nothing to do with last season. It's nothing to do with Moyes. That's the thing. Like, the problem is that we're pretty much having the same problems as last season, but with a different manager. The problem is with the whole Moyes thing is the way we approach the games the same. And once the squad's got better at West Ham, he got worse at West Ham. But he wanted all these players. And people were like, well, he should have wanted to change the style of play. He wanted to change the style of play. It was him. He wanted to change the style of play at West Ham. And it didn't work out for him. And then he went back on his laurels and it didn't work because he couldn't get the best out of the squad that he had. But it wasn't anything to do with the Moyes sacking. It was just the wrong appointment to replace him. Like, I know a lot of people online are talking about Moyes this and Moyes that, but a lot of them people didn't watch us last season. Like, I need to remind people: 6-0 against Arsenal, 5-0 against Chelsea, 5-2 against Palace, 5-0 against Fulham, 5-1 against Liverpool in the cup.
Guys
last season.
Guys doing like 2 games, adding 2 games together now.
Yeah, and now what's it called? Lopetegui's pretty much doing similar things, but in a different way. I'm not trying to hear this 4 crooks are done already. He's not started.
Nah,
he's not started 1 game in the Prem. And the problem is people don't realize we had to share the money around to rebuild our squad. We couldn't spend 40 million on every player, every position this season. The reason why we got so many players in is because we actually spent cheaper than people think. But we just spent it on a lot of players because we needed so many people in so many positions.
So that's the Declan Rice one. That's the Declan Rice one, right, from Arsenal, right? There, he spent all the money on someone.
Yeah, so we sold Declan Rice, Flynn Downs, Benrahma, Fornals, Kera, and other players as well. Skamaka from last year. Like, we didn't spend that much last season. We only spent money on 4 players, like last season, and so we could afford to spend money this season, but to a certain extent. Yeah. But the problem is, people are going to be like, "Well, give the manager time." I was happy to give anyone time at this club if you show me the outline of what you're trying to do. But good coaches, like you already know what they're going to do with the club. Like, just for example, forget how good coaches are. What you just think about identity when I say this. You know, when Emery came into Villa, you knew what he was going to do. He didn't have a pre-season. Postecoglou, wait, let me just finish. Like, Postecoglou, when he came in, you knew what he was trying to do with Tottenham. Whether you think he's good enough or not, you know what he's trying to do. We literally just came up against Enzo Maresca, another new manager that's been appointed at a similar amount of time. He's played. I watched the Championship. Yeah, he's played exactly the same way as he did against Leicester. Just adjusted it a little bit at times because he has more quality on his hands. That's a coach. That's how you get the best out of your players. Football's simple as well. If a manager is not getting the best out of your players, and you're just saying no, he's not getting the best out of them, then he's not good enough. It's simple as that. If a manager's not getting the best out of them, whether you think it's style or not, whether it's defensive, attacking, it doesn't matter. If he's not getting the best out of your players, he's not good enough.
If you watch Lopetegui at Sevilla, fullbacks were pivotal. Reguilon, especially your fullbacks counter-attack, Reguilon was. I get it once his fullbacks to attack, but you guys don't have attacking fullbacks though. You've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's a great defensive fullback.
To be honest, he's been good in possession and good going forward.
He's been good, isn't
he? He's been Kilman and Wan-Bissaka have been the 2 shining lights in my opinion. Them 2, and like I feel sorry for Kudus this season because he's been playing on the left for most of the time. And Somerville has barely got any minutes, so those have been the shining lights for me. The problem is he wanted these players. He's wanted everyone that he's got, and he wanted to keep the players that are still here as well. So this is a sword he's got to die on, unfortunately.
I've got a big question for you, Mike. How many more games can Lopetegui, can you see this type of football? Because I looked at the score last night and I was like, West Ham 5, Liverpool 5, West Ham 1. What happened there? Yeah,
legit. Like, Joey, it wasn't necessarily like, I get people were saying that they're right when they say it wasn't a 5-1 game, but the problem is when we did create chances, like we didn't look like scoring them. But the problem is as well, the first half was terrible as well. Like it didn't look like we were going to distribute the ball to the midfield, and we weren't getting the midfielders into the game. But that's because the way the manager structures the team, and he picks these lineups. He doesn't care about this cup. He can't go be angry about referee decisions. You didn't put the lineup to go for it in that game. The problem is, I don't think that if the manager keeps going on like this, because I think we're going to lose to Brentford anyway, because we don't win there. Despite the fact that they have injuries, Brian Mbeumo is always dangerous against us. So that's I see Brentford winning that. And then you got Ipswich. If you don't beat Ipswich, then Jesus Christ, they should he has no excuses. He has no excuse at home as well, by the way, not at Portman Road. But basically, I honestly think they give him 5 more. I think they should give him 5 more at max. If it was up to me, he should go now. But people are going to be like, "You're too harsh." But I know what I'm watching.
It's not about what everyone else thinks.
Exactly. I know what I'm watching. Sort of thing. Like the problem is, it's got nothing to do with last season. It's literally we just made the wrong replacement. We're this manager doesn't he wanted these players. He's got good players, but you're not going to get the best out of them. So I bet listen, a coach gets the better out of the players that he gets them to another level anyway. So yeah, that's my opinion.
So do you feel that West Ham needs a new goalkeeper?
Sorry?
Saying, will you say that West Ham needs a new goalkeeper?
No, do you know what it is? I don't even think Areola's been that bad this season, but I think Fabianski did have a howler in the Liverpool game. I just think that he's done up because he's 40. He's been here for a while, and everyone's end comes to end eventually. I think Areola will be has been all right. But for me, the ball should have gone for the first 2 goals against Chelsea in the first place. But I think that's the way the manager set the team up rather than the goalkeeper himself.
So far, what's your view on your manager?
Sorry?
I'm saying, what's your view on your manager so far?
Terrible. So far, terrible. Just underperforming. And he's meant to be an attacking manager, but he's too pragmatic, so he doesn't really have an identity as a manager with his style of play. He's he's trying to do too many different things at once. I have no idea who I would want as a manager, but it's not up to me. It's a director of football job.
Who do you want though? What manager in the Premier League or in world football do you think will do a good job at West Ham? I know 1 or 2 that will do a great job. I feel that because of players Lopetegui and with that squad could try and get you climbing up the table. Obviously you got you've got a Gary O'Neill Wolves. He's a good manager. He's done well at Bournemouth.
I think I think it's too early. I think it's too early for him. I think it's too naive. Still, I do think he's a bit too naive.
You know who West Ham need? They need a Zerbi type. Someone that gets them playing football, man, expressive football, because it's always been the West Ham way, isn't it? West Ham.
Graham Potter.
I'd take him for now. I'd take him for now. See what he does. I think if we're doing free agent options, he's probably one of the better ones. But the thing is, do you know what De Zerbi went to when he went to Marseille? I think we missed out on something.
Yeah,
I think we missed out on something there because I think this squad's perfect for him. He don't get me wrong, he's probably too far the other end of the spectrum where he probably is way too open at times. So we'd probably have a leaky defense anyway, but we'd be outscoring teams at least, in my opinion, with the attackers that we have. He'd be getting the best out of Kudus and Bowen and Paquetá and stuff. So
West Ham are a very top-heavy team, but the attack and Paquetá, everybody now is well.
It's debatable.
So what about Ruben? That Sporting CP manager.
Yeah, Amarim.
You want him at your club?
I mean, that was the dream. I think it came to a disagreement due to compensation and paying a release clause for his contract. And also, he felt a lot of pressure for the way he was talking to other clubs. The Sporting fans got onto him. So I think he felt that pressure because he went into his next press conference and just apologized straight away. I think if he really wanted to go, he would have left. And I think that would have been pushed through. But I think that was also put out there to let people know that they're looking for other managers. I think that was just a ploy, in my opinion. But the problem is they heavily downgraded on their other options. I think we were interested in the Stuttgart manager because our director of football's German. But the problem is he signed a new contract. So we could get him, really.
Yeah, that's fair. You might just have misfit players. I don't think so, man. I think you guys.
Some of them, but they
Yeah,
don't
you
start.
got good players, man. You got really good players.
You got-
Somerville, Paqueta, and Kunku.
You got
You've got very
good
good players.
Yeah, Amaron wanted to go to Liverpool.
No, but I thought he wanted to stay at Sporting. Most.
We did.
Well, he
He was
went for
open.
interview.
He was open to a Premier League move in general. We just didn't agree to compensation.
Mm.
Like, it was just very quick. It was a quick interview, flew in the day, and then we didn't agree compensation. So here's what it is. But then you go for someone of similar caliber.
So yeah.
Big up to
Chance.
Ziyad as
I don't
well.
remember chances you guys had. The
No, I don't
penalty
either.
chance, and then there was one shot from Kudus, I think. That
Yeah, there was one
was
shot, that was it.
saved. That was saved, and then one, of
Yeah.
course, he scored and win. There. Keeper and two midfielders, West Ham would be good.
I honestly just think we need to play the right players because don't get me wrong, like there's still a lot to do with the squad because we can only do so much in one transfer window. But a lot of like the manager just needs to play the right players. A lot of the players he's starting aren't good enough anymore. Antonio's done everything for the club, so he just needs to be a super coming on about people like he did yesterday. Did well yesterday, but he came on as a sub. That's why. Like when players are tired, and some players just do better as substitutions. You don't want to come up against Antonio when you're tired. So just put him on when these defenders are already exhausted, parking someone else.
Mike, let me ask you a question, yeah, because I think in the Chelsea game, didn't like Lopetegui play Bowen as like the number 9?
Yeah, I did like that.
Owen on the right, like Salah, yeah, he cooks in that position, yeah. See, I don't understand those type of decisions with managers. You know what I'm saying, yeah?
Yeah.
Get the most out of him in his position because Bowen on the right, he cooks. He cooks. So I just don't understand all that shit.
Do you know what the problem has been with Bowen this season is he's been misused in both positions. So like even on the right, he's been hugged on the touchline, and our fullback is told to make third man runs. Wan-Bissaka and Smith are third man runs. Why? Just let them stay on the touchline and Bowen cutting in like in the pockets because that's how he scored against Palace. And as you said, like similar to Salah in those positions where not many teams can handle him. However, up front, like I said, just for that game time as a striker, just because we didn't have anyone else, Fulcrook was injured, and then bring Ings on as a super sub. But a lot of people in our fan base and in general will be like, I'll just stick Bowen up front. No, Bowen just you're going to leave him like lambs to the slaughter pretty much. Doesn't have the movement for that. And it's not fair on him. I think he just needs to be in the pockets on the right, put Kudus in the 10, and play Paquetá deeper with next to Alvarez. And then we actually play a bit better. But I don't think this manager's going to do that. I don't think he doesn't know how to use Kudus, Paquetá, and Bowen together. That's his biggest problem.
But Craig, you wanted to ask Mark's a question.
What do you think would be your strongest lineup? What's your strongest team? If you had to pick a West Ham team now that's going to end the next game, what would be your strongest? What team would you pick out of the squad you've got right now? Available players, like strongest 11, and what kind of formation, tactics, and what kind of style of football would you love to see as a West Ham fan? Because I know West Ham love their football, and you've always had great players and great academy, and you've always had like legends that have played for West Ham. Like I can name a few: Rio Ferdinand, Joe Cole, played Lampard, and players like that of that generation, the era.
Yeah,
Rio. Like, what player would you want in this current squad? What team would you want to see, and what kind of style of football would you want to see in the game, kind of thing?
Yeah, obviously, like when it comes to style of play, I know a lot of people have like the West Ham way thing and stuff like that. Throughout my time, like I'm only 21, I've not seen good football ever at this club. Like my introduction to this club was Avram Grant getting relegated. Then we had Sam Allardyce, Bilic, Pellegrini, Moyes, and now Lopetegui. I've not seen good football once. I've not seen good football once. I've seen a relegation, and I've seen direct football at times. I haven't seen great football. I know a lot of people saw Harry Redknapp and stuff like that. I'm too young, and even before that, in the 80s, that's when we were at our best. But with this current lineup, I'd start Areola in goal, back four of Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman, and Emerson, which we haven't seen all season. That's what we need to see. I'd like us to play on the front foot and just get the best out of the players that we have, because playing defensive football for the past, even this season a little bit and last season, hasn't got the best out of these players. So I'd play Paquetá next to Alvarez, Kudus, Somerville, and Bowen behind Fulcrook. So then we just keep the ball on the floor, link up, run in behind and stuff like that. Just play with freedom. And then we can still be structured in defence with the defenders that we have, because our defenders can defend. It's just a structural problem. And if you don't, like, the only real defenders that can't defend are like the likes of Sufal, Cresswell, Mavropanos. That shouldn't be starting. But if you start your best players, we'd be fine. But this manager has this weird team selections. I don't understand it.
So, someone in the chat said about Salvin Bilic had a good season, 15-16, when he had Dimitri Payet, that team. That was a good team. That was a good West Ham team. Dimitri Payet, Zarate up front. I thought that was a good West Ham team. No?
Yeah, do you know it was a lot relied on Payet and Lanzini linking up though. Like without Payet and Lanzini, we would have been so finished. Like I remember being at Upton Park, like just watching Payet, just thinking, I can't believe he's playing for us. Like with the team that we had, like Antonio had a great season. That was his first season. But the problem with Bilic was, like, in the end, he didn't know how to play players in their right positions.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what killed him in the end. So yeah.
Okay, but I just wanted to go back to a previous comment. Well, go back to the my Chelsea. Then we'll get predictions. But wait, what's just there? 1 second.
You've just forgotten what you're going to say, isn't it?
No. I'm looking for the comments. So Chelsea are cooking. 10 points played. No one boss. City United are trash. 7 points played. Liverpool, Brighton away. Palace away. So are you telling me West Ham away, Bournemouth away? What else did we play away from home? Wait, we played. What else did we play? Bournemouth, Wolves away. Are not tougher. Are not tougher. Those 3 games are not tougher than Palace away and Brighton away. Are you telling me that? Wolves away, West Ham away. Both we've done.
It should not be continuous, because any team can beat Wolves at this point.
Well, you can't.
Who?
Man United can't. I don't think
we can.
Listen, you think so?
We can beat Wolves, but not in a clean way. But we can beat Wolves eventually.
But yeah, I just wanted to say, be up to my match and tomorrow. So I told you guys it was gonna be a success.
Oh, hold on. It's still
we don't know yet, but he is doing very well.
Yeah, he's doing well. Don't get
very
too
early.
Don't get too much.
Good coach though, but
I want to see these games. I want to see.
Yeah, the real test, and Chelsea fan mentioned it, are the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool's. You already got smacked by City already.
We've got 3 easy games coming up in the Premier League: Brighton and Forest. Both home games.
Forest are unbeaten. Don't say Forest going to be
easy. Brighton is not an easy game for you guys.
Forest are decent, mate.
Team, man. They got a good manager as well. He's done well this season.
That would be easy. That would be easy.
I wouldn't say Brighton. No. Forest
okay,
well this season as well.
But stuff games we should be winning.
Yeah. I can say that.
We should be beating Forest and.
It's only.
Hold on. Look at his name here. Look at his name.
I know.
Imagine.
Last season Forest dunked on us. Yeah, I know that. But that's Poch stacks. But we've got 2 winnable games coming up in Brighton.
No, actually, 1 winnable game. It's only Gent.
You think Brighton aren't crap, you know? Brighton ain't
last
season was
the manager is in the stand, so.
That makes a big difference. Yeah.
No, but they can still beat you though. I bet they can.
You focus on beating Spurs. Focus on beating Spurs.
Anyway, listen. Let's do the predictions there. Should we do the predictions?
Predictions. 1 second.
First
game, Newcastle City. I'm going 2-1 City.
Okay,
Chat,
I'm
get
going to
involved.
go. I'm going to go to 1 City, especially with Lord List out of the season. Yeah, I feel like City will win by a close margin.
Okay.
I think
Uh,
probably 2-0 City. I think they'll win comfortably still, even without Rodri.
hmm.
2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
Ooh. 2-2.
I'm gonna go
Abs.
for 3-1 Man City. I think Man City would just be too good for Newcastle.
I think Newcastle are getting problems. Honestly, Newcastle are getting problems, especially at home. I think Newcastle are getting problems. I think 2-2 draw, man. City will
I just
score,
hope
but I think Newcastle will get confidence, and they got
I
something
don't
to
trust
do.
in Eddie, you know. I don't trust in Eddie, man. I think Eddie's a
Hmm.
bit of a fraud, to be honest. But that's my own opinion.
I don't think
Right.
they've looked good all season, despite the fact they've only lost one game. Like, if you look at the way they've played in pretty much each game, they against Southampton, Tottenham, and Bournemouth, they were lucky to even get results out of that, in my opinion. So
Mm.
I think it was always going to come to eventually the fact that when they lost against Fulham, that was always coming.
Yeah,
So I think they'll give City problems, but I just think City will get over the line
Mm.
to their defense.
Okay. Arsenal, Leicester.
4-0 win.
What did you say,
Okay.
Craig?
4-0 win.
What you say?
4-0
Said
win.
4-0. What did I say? I had 1 second. Where are my predictions? 2-0 Arsenal.
I think this is going to be more closer than people think. Leicester on the day, they got Vardy as well, innit? So Vardy, when he wants to do his thing, you know, I'm going to go for a 3-2 Arsenal.
I'm going to go for 2-1 Arsenal. I feel like Arsenal will rotate the squad, especially considering that Arsenal is playing PSG after this match. So yeah, I'm going to 1 Arsenal.
I think
2-1.
Arsenal win 3-0 because Leicester struggled to even beat Wolves in the Carabao Cup. They struggled all season. They haven't found a win yet. I feel like Steve Cooper is one of the first managers that's going to be under major pressure just because of the relegation battle. I think Leicester were always doomed in the first place, but I think Arsenal will get over the line, man. Like, Leicester's defense is way too leaky, in my opinion, and Arsenal just have too much for them.
Bejab bro. Bejab 2000. Hello Serafin. Bejab.
Big up.
Brentford, West Ham. Nice.
2-1 Brentford win.
2-0 Brentford. We ain't scoring, and we're just going to struggle with Brian and Boomer alone. Even though they got injuries, I don't think it matters. The manager's going to probably set up the team wrong. So 2-0 Brentford.
Yeah, I'm going to go for 1 Brentford.
Would you say
2-1 as well. 1 Brentford. Carl said 1-0.
Do you know?
I said 1-1.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a draw. You know, it's a London derby. Both teams. I think Brentford are playing well at the moment, but West Ham are going to want to pick themselves up after defeats to Chelsea and Liverpool. So I think West Ham are going to, they're going to be strong. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Ooh, 2-2. Okay. 2-1 Chelsea. For me. Anybody? I'm going to go.
Yeah, I think Chelsea, again, I haven't been completely impressed with Brighton. I don't think they're terrible. I just don't think they're as fluid. I don't think they'll create many clear-cut chances just because I think Chelsea will press them and just go over the line. So I think 2-0 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. Brighton will score. Daniel Welbeck's in good form this season. I'm forgetting about Daniel Welbeck, like what he can do. So I think 2-1 Chelsea. Sancho will cook again. So yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go for 2-0 Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea will collect a clean sheet here.
That's 4 clean sheets if you're right now. Back yourself for that.
I'm going for a crazy score. I'm going for a 4-2 Chelsea. I think Chelsea gonna just score. Chelsea score a lot of goals now. They score a lot of goals now, so maybe 4-2. I don't rate their goalkeeper, but yeah, I think Brighton will get a couple of goals. But yeah, 4-2 Chelsea.
Everton, Crystal Palace.
Palace win.
I said 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 too. I don't see Palace winning this game.
Everton can't defend, so
With what's his name? What's his name? Mateta.
Palace don't score much. So.
Mateta, and you got
Nketiah though as well, haven't you?
And you got the other Eze. That's a front
Eze,
three.
yeah.
But they haven't been struggled all season so far.
But Everton have been absolutely turd though as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sean Dyche.
Yeah, this is why I think it's the most 1-1 game I've ever seen. Like, if you look at this game, it's the most 1-1 game you can look at. Like, it just screams 1-1. Yeah.
Not enough.
You say I think I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Crystal Palace. I think Palace will beat Everton.
Yeah.
Anybody else that didn't
2-1
go?
Palace. 2-1 Palace.
It's a 1-1.
Carl?
Yeah, 1-1.
1-1 as well. Okay. Forest Fulham. I'm going 1-1 again.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Fulham.
Fulham. Carl?
I'm going to go for 1-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think Forest just about win. I think 2-1. I think they'll see out, but that'll be a good game though. Two teams started well so far.
Yeah. Wolves, Liverpool, 2-0 Liverpool for me.
Yeah, Wolves are rubbish, man, in defence. I don't know why. I don't know what Gary.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
But he just they changed the formation this season and they didn't even need to. So I think that's hindered them a lot. Haven't recruited well. They don't really score many goals, but they have chances. So I think 2-0 Liverpool. I think Liverpool just control that.
I feel 3-1 Liverpool. Wolves can score goals if they play good football. If they have a pattern of play, they've got physical strikers up top. So if they give Liverpool a run for their money, like maybe the defenders a run for their money a little bit. But I don't think they're going to win the game. So I think 3-1 Liverpool, 3-1 away win Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool as well.
Yeah, I think Liverpool gonna cook Wolves. I'm gonna go for a 4-0 Liverpool.
I've just rolled down there.
Man, Tottenham.
Ipswich Villa. 2-1 Villa. I reckon it will be tight.
Yeah, I agree. 2-1 Villa as well.
4-0 Villa.
Yeah, I'm going 3-0 Villa.
2-0 Villa.
Okay. Carl, United face the mighty Tottenham.
Yeah, I don't think Tottenham is that mighty.
They aren't. We run with it.
What's their record like at your ground though? What was the score when you last played at Old Trafford?
It was a draw of 2-2.
Oh, it was a draw.
Yeah, it was.
But who did they have last season? Was it Son? They got Solanke though. I think Solanke's gonna just pick up his scoring now, you know. I think Tottenham will do, you guys, you know, as much as I don't want it to happen. I just think their attack, their high line. But then again, United defense is quite stubborn as well. So it's a difficult one, man. It's a difficult one. I don't know.
2-2 for me.
Yeah.
Both attacks are very good.
Mm.
Well, both defenses are good. Well, sort of. But yeah.
I just think it'll be so open and unorganized and a lot of mistakes and just be pure chaos. I just think it'll be screams of 2-2 draw. It's just going to be a lack of quality and just be two teams trying to counter each other on mistakes.
Mm. Yeah, I'm going to go for Desmond as well, actually.
2-2,
Yeah.
Desmond as well. Yeah.
I'm going to go for a 1-1.
No confidence, Kyle. That's what I'm going to call you from now on, you know.
Oh?
No confidence, Kyle.
Nah,
Come on, man. You're the mighty Man United. You should be busting up Tottenham. You should be busting them up.
Yeah, but I don't feel like we'll score
It's
2
got
goals.
test for my club, but the effort's for its own. He's saying, "Oh, you only beat Bournemouth 1-0. Can't even beat Tottenham."
We only beat Bournemouth 1-0. So you should not be talking.
It's a win. you barely beat Twente.
But
Monday Night Football, Bournemouth.
No, we're talking about small clubs now. You barely beat Sicily.
Yeah, shush.
He even lost to them. He lost 2-1. He needed a great score to qualify for the Conference League. So he should not be talking.
I'm qualified.
No, but he needed a great score to qualify for Conference League.
Bournemouth Southampton, Carl. Bournemouth Southampton.
I'm going to go for a 1-1. Yeah.
What did I say? Up the chairs 2-1 Bournemouth. Yeah, tough team. Yeah, gonna get a win.
Bournemouth at home are decent, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a bit of a South Coast kind of. That's a bit of a derby game, there, isn't it? Bournemouth.
It is a derby.
Yeah.
It's a derby.
Yeah, Bournemouth fans like consider the game a rivalry more than Southampton.
Yeah,
and there's a big thing with that.
Next to each other. I'm gonna go for. I think Bournemouth would beat Southampton. I think Bournemouth are a better team, so I'm gonna go for 3-1 Bournemouth.
Same.
I'm gonna go.
Big up to Chelsea.
Yeah.
3-1.
Yeah, Southampton are shocking. Like they don't score, they don't defend. Like apart from Tyler Diblin, can't see them getting at Bournemouth. So I think Bournemouth will win comfortably. I think 2-0.
What's happened to the layout? HI sorted it out. My technicians sorted it out. Anyway, guys, we're gonna do the outro now. Anyone want to shout out if they got anything, up and coming? And yeah, if you do it now, or forever be scorned. So, Mike, tell us, got anything coming up on the channel?
Tomorrow I'll be at 6 p.m. I'll be on Mr. B's YouTube channel for Brentford versus West Ham, and then on my channel at 10 p.m. previewing the game. But yeah, just at GVR Mike's on all platforms. If anyone wants to follow and subscribe.
Big up. So you man are playing Brentford. Oh, you're doing a preview of Wicked. Nice one. Yeah. So make sure you guys go and follow up Mr. B as well. Yeah. Make sure you go and check out his channel as well. Make sure you go and follow subscribe to Big Mike, Gov Mikes. Make sure you guys go and do that. Man like Kyle, the predictor, crystal baller.
For football overseas, we have a busy weekend. Let's starting off with, I think tomorrow or 28th, we have a preview with MUFC Global. That's a preview for Tottenham versus Man United. Then on 29th, we have a watch along for that game. Then late evening, we have like predictions for UCL and Europa League predictions. Yeah, then on 30th, we have a stream for the Nations League Game Week 2 predictions here.
Big up.
So yeah, it's a weekend with streams every day, starting from tomorrow.
Excellent stuff. My man, like Craig Matthews, not Craig David, but Craig Matthews. What you got coming up, my bro? Anything coming up?
A weekly podcast on Mondays or Wednesdays. Normally film. I normally film a football podcast on Monday or Wednesday, so that'll be coming out. Obviously we'll do our show. We might do a show with you on maybe Saturday. Yeah, after the game review. Yeah. So, but I'll let you know anyway. So keep me posted anyway. I'll let you know. So we'll do something after the game. Yeah.
Right. Big H. No. Big Ban H. Big strike.
One touch football, yeah. Podcast. Oh.
One kick from glory.
One kick from glory. There we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As for
Spotify.
me, go for them. One on Spotify. So, as for me, not really anything coming up. I'll post my Premier League predictions video out tomorrow. We'll record it still tonight. Friday midday till Sunday morning. Till Sunday midday. I'm off away, so and I don't have any signal. I'll have to search for signal if I want to check the score. So hopefully Chelsea do me a favour, and I don't when I get the message just see those people tagging me. So that's right.
Don't worry, we'll be tagging you. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we'll
what about your Spotify? Because you've got a Spotify channel as well, Hannah.
Yeah, Spotify as well. Coach's Corner just on Spotify, and then of course Instagram and Twitter. Basically, just search underscore coach underscore corner. Basically on all platforms as well. Almost. So that's for me.
Yeah, man. Nothing from me really. Just probably something Saturday. Probably with Craig. Doing a little show maybe after the game if he's available. We'll chat about that. But listen, this guy here, you see this guy here, he needs to make an outro or an intro as well, because I need something with an intro and an outro, because this just leaving and everything. I need something. We need something to just give the show a little bit more spice. But I know. I get him working a lot. He is working a lot, so big up to him. But I just want to just thank the guests today. It's been
nice to chat to you guys. Appreciate it.
Big up to the chat as well, because without the chat, it's a wrap. So you know what, big up to the chat as well. Big up my man, like Chelsea fan Ziyad as well. Is it Ziyad? Was on the chat. Malia Bargav, Nigel with a random question. Just big up to Oregon Goon, my boy. And just big up to everyone, Step C, and everyone that's joined today. The channel is getting bigger. Well, not the channel, but the show's getting bigger, as you can see. More and more people seem to be coming to watch this. And it's a weekly show, so sometimes I might not be here. Sometimes Hannah might not be. We don't know, but someone's got to host it. So Craig, you gonna step up,
Of course. Man. If you need me to send me everything, if I'm free, I'll do it, man. No worries, man.
So we're obviously looking for more people to come onto the show, more fans and stuff like that as well. So just if you have Thursday available, just let us know. So be available so we can cook you, because that's what we love. But anyway, big up to the Coolest Chelsea podcast as well. First time, I think I've seen you before, but big up to you as well.
All right.
And, I need to sub to you as well.
By the way, Spurs are down to 10 men within 7 minutes.
No way. Is it 0-0 still? Is it 0-0?
Yeah, no, down to 10 men. Dragons and red card.
Oh my god. I'm giving that a watch.
They're playing carrier bag, isn't it?
Yeah, carrier bag, legit.
Yeah, quarterback, yeah.
And 5p bags, you know.
And
They
Tesco
must.
bags.
Spurs must. We need to get a Spurs fan on here. We'd have to get Deji.
I will sort something out. Next week.
I've been trying to get Deji.
They do try to cook all of us. They will try it, innit? Like,
No, but that's good. Deji's good entertainment, man. Deji's definitely.
Yeah,
good
he's funny.
Send me the Cool Chelsea's podcast link. Actually, I'll look for it and I'll go and follow them as well.
So yeah, but be up, everybody. Appreciate you guys.
No problem.
So the kickoff was delayed as well, so it's only 12 minutes in. So
definitely. Right. Anyway, people, we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.